Welcome to the Sports Show. A lot to talk about and only a half hour to do it in. Good to see you, Sidney. How you feeling?
I'm okay.
Okay, just okay?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
Lou Nanny, Patrick Royce here. Where do you want to start on this bad boy?
Well, Wisconsin is amazing.
In basketball?
In every sport.
Actually, though, it's not in every sport. It's in the two main sports, football and
No,
basketball.
it's also in track.
Oh, I didn't realize they had a good track team this year.
The track
Rowing,
team's
they're not
great
bad
too. And their women's teams aren't that bad either.
Yeah, they're a good volleyball team.
Barry Alvarez, I saw him last night on TV. Boy, he was sweating that game out like gangbusters. That means a lot of money to the school if they go to that Final Four.
And they already got a lot.
Not the money they're going to get from the Final Four, but I saw a survey some years ago. If a team goes to the Final Four, the other non-sport fundraising goes crazy.
I've never heard that verified, but go ahead.
I don't know, but you know what Wisconsin is proof of? A little mid-season slump never killed anybody. It's a long season. It's kind of like hockey. If you get a little flat period, so what? If it's in January or February, you know, they lost 4 out of 5. They lost the Gophers. They lost at Nebraska. They looked terrible. They couldn't guard anybody, but then they picked it up again, and they're awful good. I had them in my bracket going to the finals. The 2 brackets I filled out, so I'm all on bad.
I got them in the Final Four. But I got all
I
my
liked
teams
them a lot. I liked them when I saw them earlier this year, and then I saw them at the Williams Arena and wondered what was going on. But you know, the old boy finally made his Final Four, Bo, so that's good.
Louis, the power of a good coach in college more so than any other sport, because you get to recruit the players that you want and you get to put the system in that you want. Tell me about that. What's the most important thing you need to look for? Because Bo Ryan came in here. He'd been around forever. 13 years, 13 NCAA appearances. What do you look for if you're an AD and you're hiring a coach?
Well, first of all, you got to look for somebody that's a good recruiter, because if you don't have good players, you could be a good coach, but you're not going to go to the Final Four. And if you're a good recruiter, then you got to be also a good coach. So you're looking for someone who's got essentially sales capabilities, because he's got to sell kids and coming here, or to wherever his school is. And then you also need a good teacher. You need a guy that you know, knows how to handle people. It's a combination of things. It's the ability to handle people. It's the ability to get your message across. It's the ability to gain their respect. So there's some very talented individuals out there, and it's not a coincidence they continually be successful.
This is almost a throwback to 30 years ago, the Big Ten in basketball. They got a collection of coaches now. Wow, Beeline,
oh boy,
and Michigan, and Izzo, and
Mata,
and I think the guy at Purdue's okay, Painter, and
yep.
Even the guy at Illinois had a bad year. We were hopeful of Patino and Bo Ryan, and they had a lot of good. And the guy at Iowa, now they went in the tank, but he's got more fire in him. So there's good coaches in the league now.
So how do you know if Patino can recruit?
Well, you're going to be able to tell by the players he gets coming in here. He's already, you know, shown that he's got the ability to identify people and the right people, and now he's got to be able to sell them. I think he's going to be able to do it. When you see the way he's coaching, and you see how the kids start taking to him, I think, you know, he's the type of individual who can go out and talk to kids and get them believing in him and what will happen if they come here. So we'll be able to tell in a short time.
Well, Wisconsin has 1 starter graduating, plus the bench is almost.
Well, and the advantage they got is their guys don't go to the NBA, so you know they're not going to keep the same guys.
Kaminsky might.
Well,
yeah, he's good.
They tell me that he's got an assistant coach who is a real genius, a young guy in the staff. Like they took this kid from Arno we had on the air today.
Jordan Smith.
They redshirted him this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Minnesota didn't even talk to him, but they took him, and they claim he's going to be a heck of a player. So I don't know what to say.
One thing Bo does is he gets on them early. You know, when they're sophomores, he. You know,
Bergeron from up north, he got that way.
The guard from Bunnell to help me out.
Jordan Taylor.
But you know what
he was
he's
on
doing?
him as a
Yep.
before his sophomore season.
Yeah, but look what he's doing. He's identifying talent early.
Yes,
and that's a key. That's a big key, to be able to know how a player is going to project and probably play when he gets to college.
He also has all teams are black players are the players on the great teams, but he has a lot of great white players year in and year out. And some of those guys won't go to the pros, but they can win for him.
He's got a system in place that works. Stay with us. Sports Show.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL. Proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
The Twin Cities' best Subaru deals are a walk in the park at Luther White Bear Subaru. Uh-oh. Lease the new 2014 Impreza for just $159 a month, or you get 0.9% financing. New 2014 XP Crosstrek for just $249 a month. Also, now available the 2014 XP Crosstrek Hybrid. Save big during the Subaru Love Spring event going on now. Luther White Bear Subaru. Highway 61 just north of 694, White Bear Lake. Man's best friend, huh? I'm Dan Moen, and thanks for watching.
A003 license renewal.
The all-new Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. The truck that beats any Ford F-150 in fuel economy, and the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. And now, during Chevy Truck Month, the price you see is the price you pay for a 2014 Chevy Silverado.
Now use special Truck Month pricing and Auto Show bonus cash to get a total value of over $8,000 on this Silverado All-Star Edition. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
Audi A4 drivers have spoken. And they rank the A4 highest in total quality index in its class. Experience the new Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
Locally owned, nationally known, J.D. Hoyt's in downtown Minneapolis. One-stop shop any time of year. Twins games coming to it. Stop there first. Great place to get a great dinner with Pat in the game.
Okay, I think we ought to decide this football facility thing here. That's
Are you
what
ready?
the public want to know. I want you two guys to tell me what are our hopes for
We're
the
not
football
going to
facility.
talk
We're
about
not
it.
going to
Yes,
talk.
we-
All I'm just going to say is
we gotta talk about
we
it.
don't
Gotta say something.
Okay,
That's
we
what
don't
the
we don't have a
public
firm date. Sid today on the radio did say he should have said they'd like to get started by December, which is correct. You know, we'd like to get started next week, really. And the football stadium or football practice facility is not going to cost $70 million. It's just part of the whole process. We want to fundraise.
You don't want to go cheap on it, though.
No, we're not going to go cheap. Trust me, we're not going to go cheap. But we've seen a lot of different studies in our feasibility study that brings us in a lot different. So hopefully we get it done. We all want the same thing, and that's what we're working for.
But I got to go back and look at my story as long as you bring it up. What I wrote, how it came out, I don't know. I wrote that the 70 million would include the offices. What I thought I wrote, the offices, the weight rooms, the training rooms. He wants the Lux recruiting facilities. That would cost 70 million. All I know is 1984, they built a dump, and it cost 5.5 million.
Actually,
that's 30 years ago. How much more do you think that's going to cost? I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's over right now.
Okay, I got one more question on it. How do you prioritize what gets built first if every coach wants something built?
Well, when you look at the plans, the football stadium and the basketball practice facility are going to be the cornerstone of the building, the way you're going to be able to structure it. And you're going to have offices, you're going to have training facilities, you're going to have nutrition center. We need places for the kids to study and eat and train, which is all as important as the bricks and mortar. And so, yeah, we're going to spend 70. In fact, we're going to spend over 100, maybe 150, but along the way. But the one building we're talking about, the way it came out was not what Sid intended. It's over. We're not going to talk about it.
I knew that the one building wasn't going to cost some 70 million. And the whole facilities was going to cost in the area of 70 million. All I know is Kansas State remodeling their football facilities for 50 million. This guy's my friend. I wrote the story. I'll stand by my story. If I said didn't include the facilities, I blew it. But I think I did.
No, I can't remember what exactly it said, but Patrick?
Well, good luck to them. Louie and the friends raising the money. Hopefully we got T. Denny back in the fold and a few other fellas, and we can get some work done.
Well, you won't comment on how the fundraising is going.
No,
right?
we're
This
not.
is a policy,
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay.
So we have a large group of people working hard. We've got about 45 on our leadership committee and 12 on the executive committee. And we're working hard.
I know you can't tell us all priorities, but do you have to have a track over on the ag campus before you can take away their property?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say that because I think that's all part of the structure that's going forward. And
but I mean,
the track that we have now, we can't even hold a Big Ten meet on it. The cracks are so bad.
But it would be hard to run a track meet there if you were digging a hole in the middle of the ground. So,
well, we can't hold a track meet where we are now because of the condition of the track.
You want to say one more thing?
Well, all I know is Mr. Teague made no comment on this thing and wouldn't make any comment because he told a couple people that the whole thing, not just the building, would cost about 70 million. And Kill, in his recruiting, he was telling recruits that they hope to have the building soon.
Okay.
Well, the whole thing's going to cost more than 70 million. So, when you talk about the whole thing, that's why our goal is 190. It's not 70.
Well, I'm just glad you guys didn't talk about it. You said that.
How do we get rid of Williams Arena? That's what I want to know.
Take a break. Come back.
Get rid of that dump.
Nobody wants to see me.
Attention, please get a pencil. Announcing a hearing breakthrough, a microchip that is so small it can fit on the head of a pin. Worn hidden entirely in your ear canal, making you hear clear as a bell. And it's proudly made in the USA. Do you feel left out of conversations? Is it difficult to hear words in noisy environments? Do others say that you listen to the TV or radio too loudly? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your problems hearing? If you answered yes, you may qualify for this new chip in the ear. Only 50 participants are needed to try this microchip, so get a pencil. Call now to see if you qualify. This revolutionary chip actually mimics the natural sound selection of the human ear. With multi-core microprocessors, technology used in the most advanced computers, Sounds are analyzed and classified each millisecond, controlling noise and making speech clear. Do not wait. Call now to see if you qualify to wear this revolutionary new microchip.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad is an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to car and drivers 10 best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
Hey,
Audi in Minneapolis, stop on by, say hi to Bruce Bonine, Charlie, and the whole gang. Perfect any season right now as you head towards the spring. You might want to check out that A4, though, because that baby will glide. Welcome back to the sports show, the Timberwolves. Now, I know you and Patrick probably can't say anything negative about them anymore.
Not
huh?
anymore.
Yeah,
now
that
Glenn Taylor's going to
going to own your paper.
I just think the players are better than their record. I really do. I mean, I don't think Adelman's a great. I think at one time he was a great coach, but I don't think he's the greatest coach in the world. I think the other night was a good indication. The Lakers are terrible. There's no doubt about that. And Flip took a lot of heat for drafting those two guys from a lot of guys in our office. That D is going to be one of the great players.
Heat anymore now that Taylor owns the paper. Now that Taylor owns the paper, he's not going to take any more heat.
I immediately read that.
Let me finish.
Okay.
That Muhammad is going to be, I watched him practice a few times. He's going to be a piece of work, too. He can shoot the ball. They did a fantastic job on the drafting. The guard is playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far yet. They haven't even been playing Muhammad lately. Go ahead.
Well, I did when I saw the Glenn Taylor report by the Trib. Immediately sent out that I thought they were really a fighting team with a lot of fighting spirit, and just have had a lot of bad luck the last 10 years. 10 years, the refs have screwed them for 10 years, and it's quite an operation. And I would like to congratulate them on what they have going here. They're over 500 now, so that's quite an accomplishment.
You don't have to do that. You're a union reporter. You
No,
can't
I'm not. I'm a contract employee. I can be gone tomorrow.
Hope that union's strong.
Then you're right. Glenn did do a nice job.
Almost forgot they didn't.
What the hell? Glenn was going to sell the basketball team a year ago because he was getting older and he wanted to.
Yeah.
And now he's out spending money again. What's going on?
Here, I sat with a general manager the other day at one of the games. He says, we thought Flip did a heck of a job when he took those two guys. I talked to Rick Pitino, who coached at D, and he predicted everything that's happened to that kid today.
Including not playing for 60 games?
He should have been playing, and he wasn't playing. And they're going to have it's going to be interesting what happens in the coaching situation, because I don't think there's any chance that Adelman will come out.
Okay, I think that's done. But the Wild, they won last night 3-1 with 3 goals, and it felt like they were hanging by a thread.
Well, they were hanging by a thread in the first period, but they got
But I mean, in their
much
season,
better.
their balance of their season.
In their season. If they had lost last night, I really think it would have been difficult for them to make the playoffs, because they got a very tough schedule, and Dallas is playing very well, and that would have given Phoenix. They'd have leapfrogged the Wild in a position. That was a huge game.
Phoenix is a little vulnerable without their goalie, though.
Yeah, but they find this kid's won a couple games on the road too. But they really need to have
Is Brizgalov?
Brizgalov.
You just let him play now, or what?
Let him play and win. The one thing about Brizgalov, when he's on the last year of a contract, he's always played well.
Yeah.
And he's on the last year. He's on the last month of a contract right now. So you might as well ride him and see what happens, because, Kemper's had too much problems lately.
How can a guy like Heatley, how old is he?
35, I think.
Right around there, yeah.
34.
Well, he's completely gone. I thought, the little I know about hockey guys I talked to, they thought Heatley would be a superstar for him.
Well, what happens is two things. One, the league's very fast. It's never been faster. And secondly, non-skaters go fast. And one day you wake up and all of a sudden it's gone. When you could still skate, you get by. You don't see the difference that much. But when you're a non-skater and all of a sudden you get older, it's like you want to go, but the head says go and the legs say no. And that's what happens.
Free agent goalie they're going to get in the offseason. They're
Well,
going to have to get one.
yeah, but
or trade for one.
that's going to be interesting to see. Khudobin that was traded to Boston and then went to Carolina, sort of supplanted Cam Ward. He might be the guy that they get.
Is the coach in trouble?
Well, tell me if they make the
Whenever
playoffs, huh?
Whenever you don't win, you're in trouble.
He won't get fired with 2 games to go in the season like some guy once did to try to make the playoffs. We won't bring
It wasn't 2 games, was it?
2? I think it was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Might have maybe 4.
Yeah, but that was a little different. That was like the coach saying something and going somewhere like that happened this past weekend that shouldn't happen.
Matt Molson, how good is he?
He's a good scorer and he's good hands. I think he's been a good addition to the team. It all depends how long a contract he wants. I still think that they got to focus on Vanek first because they need scoring. Look at them, they're 27th, 26th in the league again. They got to get a real top-notch scorer. And Vanek keeps doing it. He's doing it for Montreal now, and he wants to come here.
He lives here.
Yeah, he lives in Stillwater. He's got to be the guy they go after.
Dallas went into St. Louis one last night.
And they're playing well.
Yeah.
And they have one more game with St. Louis, too.
Could they not make the playoffs? Is that possible?
Sure, it's possible. One good thing is Phoenix and Dallas play each other one game, so somebody's going to lose a game and not get 2 points. They might get 1, but they won't get 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 1 point is still big.
Take a break, come back, stay with us.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Ponder, the Wild, Zach Parise, the Timberwolves, Ricky Rubio, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yes, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to ticketkingonline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
The visibility and the awareness that this particular year brings to the issue of hunger is a dream come true.
The world turns its eyes to one place, and then Taste the NFL stands up and says, and as long as you're looking here, don't forget what else is here.
I hate the fact that little kids go hungry. I hate the fact that even grandmas that can't afford medicine or food, they give up food.
This is a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. It's so relevant, and to actually hear about hunger, we hear about the statistics, but to see it, firsthand, it's a very different thing.
There are a lot of people who are having to decide whether to pay the heat bill or have enough food. And so the need is there. The need is great. And we're people who are well positioned to help meet that need.
There it is, Taste the NFL. Look it up online, see what Wayne's got cooking, literally and figuratively. Always something going good at Taste the NFL as they feed the hungry. And we go down the stretch with the Minnesota Twins tomorrow, opening day.
Well, they finally scored some runs yesterday. Was yesterday?
7-4 they won, yeah.
Yeah, 2 of the extra
when you
points
got,
for a guy who's going to play A-ball, so I wouldn't get too excited.
When you got Kubel and that shortstop
Bartlett.
making his team, boy, that's not a very good indication.
My number one concern is Willingham.
Huh?
He finally hit one yesterday.
He looks like a dead body, though.
He could be cooked. Just what you said about skaters, when those guys lose their power, their bat speed, it's over.
This lineup, it might be the worst I've seen in 54 years.
How's the pitching going to help him?
That'll be okay. Pitching will be okay.
Well, the
That'll
column
get
you
him
wrote,
somewhere.
the column you wrote the other day,
About their lineup?
all the players that the deals they made have really hurt them.
Well, yeah.
Guy shortstop makes the Golden Glove 2 years in a row. I mean, there's a lot of players out there playing that are pretty good.
But I did hear that they Wild had Bartlett on Skype last night in the locker room to give him the pregame speech, so he got him all fired up. He gave him a little
Because he's the clubhouse guy?
He's the clubhouse leader. This is the. I've never seen a team.
I know what you're saying,
I've
man.
never seen a team admit, yes, he's horse bleep, but boy, he'll put his arm around a guy when he throws the ball in the seats. What the? You know, how's a guy hitting 80 going to be a leader?
That's right.
That's what I want.
Absolutely.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Louis, did you ever bring a guy in just to lead that couldn't play?
No, because we were always worried about that they would lead him somewhere after the game that they shouldn't be leading them to. It all depends what kind of leader you're talking about.
Who's a grinder for the North Stars that you brought in primarily because you thought he could be a difference maker in the locker room? Anybody?
We never made a trade just to make a difference in the locker room. We made a trade to better the hockey club on the ice, and hopefully that was part of the deal. But we never just made a locker room trade.
You brought in Worsley.
Worsley.
He was a big difference in that club.
Yeah, because he was a Hall of Fame goaltender.
Because he stopped pucks.
Because he was the best goaltender in the league.
And you had him.
You talk about a character in the locker room. There was the greatest character of
Gump
all
Worsley?
time.
Yeah.
He was on my back all the time. All the time on my back.
Patrick Pam Borton, no surprise, gone.
No, she would have had to win a game or two in the NCAA to save her job. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind that job. You got Bantam back, you got the big kid Zowie B, and you got
Wagner coming from
Carly
Richmond.
Wagner coming in. Somebody's going to walk in and go to the NCAA tournament.
I don't think that that job should pay more than $150,000 or $200,000 a year because they lose so much money. Louis?
Well, I have to tell you, it's still a major job, and you have to use comparatives. I would use a comparative where it doesn't get paid any more than Don Lucia.
Don Lucia should never make less than the women's basketball
which he was
coach.
doing now.
Yep.
And because a revenue sport like hockey, it makes a lot of money. And basketball loses a lot. I don't understand how they would not pay Lucia as much as Borden, or Borden as much as Lucia. There was a significant difference there. It was surprising.
It was, and I'm appalled by it. It should never, ever happen.
Yeah.
The point is, when that coach at Maryland was here, it proved they can make money with women's basketball with the right person.
They made some.
And you can write some incentives in.
Let's not get silly and think they're going to draw 12,000, because nationally, when they were drawing 3,000, they were still in the top 20%.
And that's something.
But if they can get 3,000 or 4,000 in there, at least you won't lose millions. Plus, you play more home games. They don't play any home games. Let somebody come here. I don't know. They like the trips.
I think it's a good job, like you said, and I really believe women's basketball is got possibility to grow.
Maybe they should go back across the hall and fill the place up.
I was thinking the same thing. I was down in Iowa State this week with Hoiberg, going, why doesn't the university play Iowa State in everything? It's an easy 3-hour drive.
Yes.
Why do they fly all over?
They won't play them.
Yeah, but both schools should come together on that.
Well, they should certainly play every other year. Basketball for sure.
Won't play Minnesota.
Yeah, football, I know they play Iowa too.
That's it.
All right.
Northern Iowa.
Football they won't, but I'd sure play them in basketball. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Thanks for watching this edition of the Sports Show. Next week, we hope Sid will write something. We'll have something to talk about again.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King, for the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology, life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts, Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL, proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.